All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is my channel at Traditionalist Catholic, and my name is Billy Stewart. Thank you for joining. I just wanted to do a quick video today, just sharing insight I've seen this morning, and hopefully it'd be good for you guys as well. I prayed the Divine Office, and this morning at Monday at Prime, the first psalm in the office of Prime on Monday was Psalm 23. Now, Psalm 23 in the Douay-Rheims uses the Septuagint numbering, so it's different from, like, say, the post-conciliar numberings, which are the Masoretic numberings used by Jews and Protestants. So in the Douay-Rheims, the Lord is my shepherd psalm would be Psalm 22. And in the post-conciliar translations like the NAB or the RSVCE, that would be Psalm 23. So that way, hopefully, if you use the new translations, you know where to find it now. Psalm 23. And let's see, verse 3 says, "Who shall ascend into the mountain of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place?" Verse 4 reads, "The innocent in hands and clean of heart, who hath not taken his soul in vain, nor sworn deceitfully to his neighbor." Now, the "who shall ascend into the mountain of the Lord" reminds me of Psalms like Psalm 83, which I'll get to in a minute. And Psalms like Psalm 83 talk about traveling up by ascending up to Jerusalem. And Jerusalem, of course, is central to Jewish life in the Old Testament, because that's where the temple is, of course. So, that being said, the mountain of the Lord signifies the temple. Where the temple is in Jerusalem. Now, the church teaches that Jerusalem is a type that prefigures the church on earth, and also the heavenly Jerusalem in heaven. So that being understood, so then who shall ascend? Sorry, I have to go back over. Who shall ascend in the mountain of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? Well, that reminds me of Psalms like Psalm 83, which describe ascending to Jerusalem, or to the temple. And in praying the office, I find that during the week there's often reference to Jerusalem. So I get this sense that we're a people who are on pilgrimage to Jerusalem. People on pilgrimage to Jerusalem. We're exiles in this vale of tears that we are ascending we're on ascension to the way to Jerusalem. Now, Psalm 83. Here we go. Psalm 83, 2. "How lovely are thy tabernacles, O Lord of hosts! My soul longeth and fainteth for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh have rejoiced in the living God. For the sparrow hath found herself a house, and the turtle a nest for herself, where she may lay her young ones. Thy altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are they that dwell in thy house, O Lord, and they shall praise thee forever and ever. Blessed is the man whose help is from thee, and in his heart he hath disposed to ascend by steps in the vale of tears, in the place which he hath set." Now, the footnotes in my Douay-Rheims copy is the Baronius Press edition, the 1899 American edition. The footnote says, "For Psalm 83, verse 6, in his heart he hath disposed to ascend by steps." As by steps meant ascended to the temple of God, situated on a hill. So the good Christian ascends towards the eternal temple by certain steps of virtue disposed or ordered within the heart, and this whilst he lives as yet in the body in this vale of tears, here on earth, the place which man hath set, that is, which he hath brought to himself to, being cast out of paradise for his sin. So here, exile on earth, man ascends by steps, practicing virtue, ascending up the hill to the temple of God. Now, of course, the temple of God being in Jerusalem, so you see that. Now, which brought to my mind two lovely things. One, in this sense, the hill upon which the temple of God sits can be taken in two ways. One could be taken, of course, as straight up heaven, because the earth of Jerusalem is a type that prefigures the heavenly Jerusalem in the Apocalypse or Revelation, if you use the post-considered translations. And also something else that I've seen in the divine office. It's centered on Sunday, where you go from where it goes from Sunday to Sunday to Sunday to Sunday, because in the office there seems to be an exile during the week, and you're afflicted, you're in tribulation, you're in trial through the week until you arrive at Sunday and first Vespers on Sunday, which is the Vespers of Saturday in the divine office. It's always first Vespers of Sunday because Sunday is essentially a first class feast. Because it always has the first Vespers in the evening before, and then Compline, then Matins. So then first Vespers on Sunday is a mighty thanksgiving to God for having arrived to Sunday. So reflecting on this, it's like, oh yeah, that reminds me of that conversation I had with the fraternity deacon before the ordinations earlier this year at the cathedral. I had told him about how it seems the divine office that with the gradual psalms, our life is the gradual psalms, that we're going through the vale of tears from Sunday to Sunday, and then this brings me back to the verse in Psalm 23, the mountain of the Lord, which then presents us a goal in two senses. It presents us a goal. It presents us two senses in a goal. That'd be one, Sunday to Sunday. Our life is from Sunday to Sunday because, as it says in the JP2 Catechism, that the Mass is the source and summit of our lives. You know, I don't think anybody would have an argument with that. Excuse me. So we live from Sunday to Sunday to Sunday because we are a priestly people. We live from Sunday to Sunday to Sunday. And then also we live our goal is also ascending into heaven by that by God's mercy we shall enter heaven. So that brings into play the other verse from Psalm 23 of innocent of hands, clean of heart, having not taken his soul in vain, and sworn deceitfully to his neighbor. That shows us one. We're looking at it's a figure for being in a state of grace for worthy reception of Holy Communion, and two, we have to be innocent of hands, clean of heart, having not taken our soul in vain and sworn deceitfully to our neighbor. Thus, by the mercy of God, we can be admitted into heaven. So, given that thought, then that means that means, well, if our goal is heaven and our goal is Sunday Mass and worthy reception of Holy Communion in Sunday Mass, then that means we must conduct ourselves accordingly, which means we keep the commandments, we turn away from iniquity, we stay in a state of sanctifying grace from Sunday to Sunday to Sunday, and then eventually, by the grace and mercy of God, we're admitted into heaven. Excuse me. So I thought this was a rather beautiful thought. So hopefully this does some good for you all out there. And also, this bears in mind. This also touches upon the topic for this Friday's video, which will be touching on the twofold priesthood, the internal priesthood of the faithful, the baptized, and the external priesthood of the ordained, i.e., priests. Because I can see in my memory of the new Mass, there could be a lot of confusion on what is the proper role of laity, what is the proper role of the priest in the new Mass. So I'm thinking, let's read what does the Catechism of Trent have to say, because a parish priest, because that catechism was the catechism by which every parish priest was to preach and teach. So, this was a catechism, and this was a catechism done on mandate from the Council of Trent. So, then that's going to be a very reliable catechism. So and plus it's my teaching document anyway. So what does the Catechism of Trent say on that? So that we faithful can know what is our priesthood. And so then what do we know that's proper for us to do as in our baptismal priesthood? Because otherwise there'd be confusion, and lady might be could be tempting to take on priestly roles that are strictly for the ordained, and then priests might lose sense of what their priesthood is, and then there's like a mix and a blurring of the two. So that's of course a horrifying thought. So, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And please like and subscribe, share, and please let me know in the comments what you think. And just remember, Vivo Cristo.